Coach Haas, excuse me.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of comments to start right now other than, big picture. Certainly a lot of emotions going on right now, but number one by far is pride. Really, really proud of what the guys have done this year.
Right here.
Coach, can you just talk about UCLA's offense and the challenges that they presented? There's no real right answer for defending them, but what did you see from them tonight?
Well, we are a more old-school traditional team with, traditional bigs, and they have such a they can really spread you out. A lot of times with four guards or, 5 shooters on the court, and then combine that with their dribble penetration. They're a hard team for anybody to guard, but it certainly put us in bad situations, and then foul trouble kind of compounded that as well. But they're an elite level shooting team with arguably the best point guard in the country. Then he played like that today, but it puts us in situations that we're not real comfortable with, and when they're able to knock in the shots like they did, this is the result you get.
Coach, midway through the first half, latter part of the first half, you guys went on like a 15-4 run. What did you guys see from UCLA that allowed you to penetrate and get back into the game?
I think it's more, I think they were consistent with what they did. I think our mentality against the zone got a little bit better, that we were trying to attack. I think the entire year we're best when we're attacking, and when we got to the foul line and we get to the paint some, things generally turn out better for us. So I think it was more our guys' mindset of trying to be more aggressive.
Coach, you briefly mentioned the foul trouble. How did you think your team fought today with the foul trouble, especially with the foul trouble on Dejan?
I thought, and I mean this sincerely, I thought we fought extremely hard. And that's why the only comment I had at the beginning was how proud I am of the guys, because this entire year it's been full of adversity. In this game, same thing, with foul trouble, and it wasn't easy. But every time we got down, we kept fighting and competing. And so, again, that's hopefully going to be a staple of this team. But as the program, it'll be a staple of the program moving forward as well.
Reed, can you just talk about the start of the game? You guys had a bunch of turnovers early and then were pretty clean the rest of the way. Just what was the trouble with the start?
Not quite sure there's one answer for it. I think guys had their heads in the right place. We were trying to make the right plays, probably just moving a little too fast. And I think we really just calmed down into the game, and that really helped us start to take care of the ball more.
KZ, can you talk about your game on offense tonight, and then can you also talk about what it's like to deal with Dejan not on the floor and how that changes you guys on both ends?
I just try to help us win. Some days it's scoring, some days it's defense. Just play my role. So yeah, today was more of an offensive game for me. Mainly because Dejan wasn't on the floor, so trying to attack. And it affects us defensively and offensively when Dejan's not on the court. He pushes the ball up. He does a lot, so it's big.
Goodbye.
Reed, through all the adversity you guys went through this season, what can you say about your co-captains and Dorian and Michael and what they did for this team?
Yeah, I just say how proud I am of them. I mean, for us to come together as a group and just all be co-captains this year, it was a lot of responsibility put on us, and especially with guys being injured to start the year and losing some games we knew we should have won. And going into conference season, we had a lot of ups and downs, but I just say proud and just seeing how they fought all year. So I've been through a lot with those guys, so to see a season like this where it's been a little up and down, to just see how much they fought and how much we just stuck through it together, it's just really proud of the effort that they put in this year.
Anything else? Yeah, over here. Yeah. Right here.
Coach, with what you guys have done since you've had KZ and Dorian back, do you think you've done enough to get an NIT or another postseason bid?
Yeah, honestly, I haven't studied anything enough. I think there's a couple ways to look at things, and one is by the numbers, and our numbers are probably not going to stack up favorably when you look at our entire body of work. Now, if you look at the eye test and quality of the team, I think UCLA was really, really excited in their locker room afterwards because it meant something to beat us. And I think we've done a nice job of the program getting to the point right now where it means something to beat Stanford. So, you know, those things are going to work themselves out. But I will say that I'm confident in the team that we have right now that we can compete with some of the best teams in college basketball.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
Just again, if you, when we get to questioning, ask for a microphone to provide audio for the Pac-12 feed. Coach, you have comments on the game?
Yeah, we're just really proud of our team and super happy for the two guys next to me because a lot of pressure on these two, and they've been tremendous with leadership all year long. Their leadership has been spectacular for us all season long, and they had a lot of pressure on them today because we had about 5 guys going through this for the first time as far as the Pac-12 tournament goes, and having minutes on the floor. We really only got, you know, GG obviously is the third, but these two are the major minute guys that we've had in a Pac-12 tournament. So they really responded, and that's what your main guys have got to do. And both these guys responded in a huge way. Aaron, across the board, and everything that he did today was spectacular, and couldn't be happier for Tom. You know, 1,000 rebounds, 1,000 points in your career at UCLA. That's special. And so very fortunate, very blessed that I get an opportunity to coach two very special players like these two.
Questions right here.
Congrats on the win, Coach. With Aaron Holiday and Thomas Welch obviously getting involved, but it seemed like a lot of the guys got involved early, and you guys set the tone early. Was that the focus in practice coming into the tournament this week?
Well, we've had a good week. You know, I think we've done a good job of getting rest, and then we've been on the court. The guys have done a lot of good things. We've had a good frame of mind, but again, with that, there's still some anxieties from a coaching standpoint because we got a lot of guys going through this for the first time. And I thought they handled it well. But I think if you're going through it the first time, when you see your veterans playing as well and as hard as they did, that helps relax everybody else. So now we've got that one game under our belt. I think some of these new guys they'll be a little bit more accustomed to what this tournament's all about now going into tomorrow's game. But I thought Prince in the second half was really good. Chris Smith gave us great minutes off the bench. I thought he was spectacular with his minutes. I thought both Gigi and Alex did a great job in the second half. I think they were kind of a touch and feel in the first half. In the second half, they got back to just doing what they do well. They both guard well. They're in good position defenders, and then they started making some shots. Alex made a big shot. Gigi had a huge putback. So I thought they did some really good things.
Aaron, how do you feel after playing 40 minutes a game? You've done it a bunch of times this season, but I mean, like right now, you're gonna go to bed after you get back to the hotel, or what's your body feeling like?
It's a little tired, obviously, playing that many minutes, but I've been here before, so it's no big deal.
This is going to be the first time all season you play 40 in back-to-back games. Can you talk about, what sort of preparations you're going to take to be able to do back-to-back days? I mean,
Back-to-back days. Just get rest, really. Do what I can to keep my body right, ice my knees, just get rest. That's all I can really do, sleep well.
You tied a career high with 34 points. What did you see out there against that Stanford defense that enabled you to be that leading scorer?
I just tried to see the way they were playing me. The paint was open a lot, so I just tried to get in there and make plays. So if I can get in there, jump stop, and find somebody or just shoot, it's going to do well for our team.
Coach, you got Jalen in for 10 minutes today. Can you just talk about the status on him and what he was sort of telling you?
Yeah, I know it's hard because he hasn't really had a full-blown practice because of the way we've practiced. We haven't had a chance this week. Knowing that when you come into a tournament like this where you got to prepare for 3 games in 3 days, that's the mindset. So we practiced hard on Monday, and he really couldn't do much. And then on Tuesday and Wednesday, he really backed off the guys, and a lot of it was non-contact. It was a lot of shooting, a lot of drill, but not contact. And so he really hasn't had the opportunity to be in a contact practice that we needed to get a read on. But our medical staff and Shane have been terrific and felt like he was ready. He had no limitations, but he hadn't played. So, I think getting these 10 minutes under his belt helps us moving forward.
Yeah, Aaron, this time of year, often teams need veteran leaders to carry them through March. Is that on your mind? Is that something you consciously?
I don't really think of it much now. I've been here, what do we have, like 30-something games? So I've been a leader since the beginning. So it's just second nature now. I just go out there and play and just try to lead my team the best way I can.
Sir.
Thomas, you had 1,000 rebounds for your career. What does that mean for you, just being in a UCLA uniform and playing at the time that you played?
I mean, it's special. If you look at the guys that have worn this jersey and gotten 1,000 rebounds, I mean, there's some pretty incredible names up there. So, I mean, just playing here has been a dream come true. And to, have gotten 1,000 rebounds, it's a really special accomplishment. So I take a lot of pride in.
Hey, Steve. Tim Bondups from the Washington Post. The team you're playing tomorrow, Arizona, is obviously in the middle of a bit of an interesting situation right now. You had your own situation to deal with earlier this season. I was just curious, as a coach, when you're dealing with a lot of outside noise like that and stuff going on, how do you keep your guys locked in on what you have to do when there's obviously going to be some understandable distractions?
It's what you focus and concentrate on, and that's what we've been able to do, since November. And that's why I'm so proud of these guys because, we were 11 deep, and we went from 11 to 8 overnight, and not only 11 to 8 overnight, but you're doing it in China. So you're doing it a long way from home, where you're trying to revamp and do things. And these guys never had there was never an excuse, never a time where, it was like, oh, woe is us, self-pity. No, it was do what we got to do to continue to work, continue to improve as a basketball team, and that's what these guys have done. We've had very few. I think we've had just a couple stretches where we've lost 2 games in a row, maybe a stretch of 3, but we haven't had more than a 10-day stretch of not playing like really good basketball. And so the consistency that these guys have played with, we had a game canceled due to fires. There's been a lot that's kind of you're dealing with, and we've had some injuries. Tom played with the mask for 12 games maybe, or more. And so I just appreciate that there was never a time where I went into the locker room or a practice and I saw guys looking like, hey, coach, can you give us some self-pity here because somebody needs to take care of us. It was like, how are we going to get better today? And that starts with the leadership. And both Aaron and Tom have come to work every day to get better, and the young players have seen that. And I think our young guys have gotten better. We're seeing that before our eyes. Chris Smith is improving like crazy. So a lot of that credit, most of that credit has to go with these 2 guys right here.
Right here.
For Aaron and Thomas, can you talk a little bit about your confidence level heading into the Arizona game tomorrow at a neutral site, knowing that you were able to beat them at home a few months ago?
Well, me and Tom were both very confident. Obviously, we went into Arizona, tough place to play, and we got the W. We know it's not going to be easy, especially after beating them there, so I know they're going to come out hard. So we're pretty confident. We just got to go out there and do what we have to do pretty much.
Yeah, Tom, when this stuff happened at the beginning of the year as a senior, did you tell yourself and others, that it was kind of on you to figure it to help keep this team steady? I mean, to show leadership, was it even more important? Did you understand and realize that at the time?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, that is something that you never really see. I mean, an event like that where you lose 3 players off a team before the first game even starts. So, I mean, being a senior, even without that situation happening, I want to do my best to step up and be a leader. But yeah, especially with what happened with that, I just wanted to take the best leadership role I could by leading by example and just making sure we stayed together through all that. And I think we've just continued to improve and play well.
We'll go with one more here.
Steve, with Aaron playing 40 minutes, is there ever a point in a game where you consider I'm going to take him out for a minute, or is depth and to a point where you can't do that? And also, do you ever maybe don't want to take him out ever?
We've had some discussions on the bench. It's almost got comical because one of the coaches will say, hey, you know, we got 30 seconds here before immediate timeout. You want to give Aaron a blow. And we've done that before, and now those assistants look at me, and if they do say anything, then I just give them that look, like, you're kidding me, right? I'm not about to take this guy out. He's so valuable to us. But and I say that tongue in cheek. But if we can steal 30 seconds to 60 seconds and get him a blow, we will. But like tonight, tonight he gets his first foul, 6 minutes into the game. Plays the rest of the half with 1 foul. I didn't have to take him out, and I think that's a maturing process with him because he's such a – you see the statistics offensively, but you don't see the statistics defensively. He's guarding the best player in the backcourt on every team, every game. That's why I've said for long, and they're probably upset with me, but for him not to be a Kuzi finalist, it makes 0 sense. I mean, 0. Statistically, he's off the charts, and then he does what no other guards do in the country. He guards the best guard on the other team and does a great job night in, night out defensively for us. So that's the reason he plays 40 minutes. I have incredible trust in him, and he's a warrior. And to me, he could play 50 minutes. Now, obviously, we're getting in a situation where we're getting back-to-back games, and that gets a little bit more difficult. So if we can steal 30, 40 seconds here, we'll do that. But I also don't want to get caught to where I have to call timeout just to get him back in the game. So it's kind of a catch-22. But with Jalen out hurt, it makes it a little bit – that's been more difficult to do. But hopefully he'll be back now. And but I would assume Aaron's going to play a lot of minutes. For us to have success, that needs to happen.
All right, Coach, we'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, thank you very much.
Well, you get 10 more minutes. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'll turn it off. So how many microphones do you need? Just one. Just one. Okay.